What's up guys, Warren here, and today I'm going to show you how I made $57,000 from FTMO, trading one setup, one strategy, and one market. Let's go. So guys, I'm going to show you guys something that I don't think I've shown on my channel, right? But basically, it's how I went from, let me show you guys on the screen. So if I show you this is my FTMO browser or website, and this is where FTMO is, and you can see my overall rewards. Currently, we are $57,000 up, right? And I'm going to show you exactly how I made that in this video. So coming back to like 2022 actually. So I'm going to show you here, if we go all the way back in time. So around 2022 was the bear market, right? And to a lot of new traders, the market looks like noise, right? You can see we got US tech. I'm actually going to open capital.com, right? And I was around here, right? And I got my first payout around June, July, right here somewhere. I remember this. And for a lot of people, this actually looks like noise, right? So around July, this is when we got our payout. When I basically saw the market, so I was trading a lot of different systems, guys. I was trading a lot of different systems, and I was trading breakouts of support and resistance, Bollinger Bands, and all these kind of things. And while I was trading that, I saw something incredible. That I saw that NAS100, right? It basically moves in what I call projections, right? Also known as measured moves, right? So when I was actually looking at the market, when I was trading, and I was like, why the hell does Nasdaq move from in boxes, right? Once it breaks out of a box, it basically moves to the next box, right? And then I was like, when I saw one box, and then you see the next box, it moves to the next box, right? And I kept seeing the same thing over and over while I was running different strategies. So I was like, from that box to there, and then from this big box here, right? When it finally breaks this big box, it moved to the next box up there, right? And it was incredible thing, right? And then that's when what I was doing, I was like, wait a minute, and I kept seeing the same pattern. And when I actually got paid out from FTMO in June, I had no rules or anything, right? Well, I kind of had rules, but it wasn't like solid rules, right? So basically, I was so confident in this system, I kept trading the same thing, right? You can see the 9th of June, right? When I saw this, I was like, when this box breaks out, when this box moves break down, it's gonna go here, right? And I would hold the trade all the way here, right? And then I'd see another box, and I would be like, when it breaks out from this box, it's gonna drop all the way to down here, right? And I saw this consolidation. So the problem came in when this thing doesn't work, right? Because nothing is 100% in the market. Even these box moves, which I call projection, they are not 100% guaranteed. Well, they're not even 50% guaranteed that they work, right? Because nothing plays out so accurately like 100%, right? And what I was actually doing is, you can see here, when I saw it actually break out of this box, I would risk so much, like 2.5%. When I saw that, and then I'd be so emotional, like when it starts coming back up, I start closing out and enter again, and this behavior, I knew that okay, it mustn't come out, it mustn't take out the highs of the box, right? If I'm selling, and and I used to enter such huge positions that when it worked fantastic. Right? I was passing challenges, passing verifications, but when it didn't work, that's when I started blowing my accounts. Right? I'm sure everyone's been there, like this one, right? And I was actually like, when this thing takes this thing out, it's not gonna come back, right? And then I was like, when this low here gets taken out, we're just gonna keep selling, right? Like when I was down here, when it finally broke, I was like, this thing is gonna go to the next box, and I would keep losing, and I would make even more profit. So when it actually broke and it came up here, I kept adding positions, sell, 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 sell. And then it came down, and then I'll be like, okay, perfect. And then I'll break even. I see the market coming back up here, and I'll be like, okay, now sell, sell, sell again. And then finally, boom, account blown because it doesn't work. And then again, you try to sell here, market comes down and spikes you out, and you will blow the account, right? Because I was like risking so much, like 2-3% a trade. I'll be hitting the max daily drawdown, max loss, and all of these kind of things. Until finally, like a few years, I was like, okay. So I started strategy hopping because I was like, it works. Like you never really know. Like it could be the box could have been a bullish box or the bearish box. You never really know which way the market's going to go in from one box. Sometimes the box doesn't even complete. Like, see, it breaks out here and then stops you back out. It comes up here, stops you, and stops you out. Up and down. There's no way to actually know if the box is going to complete, which is one. Whether it's the bullish box, which means it's going to go up, or whether it's a bearish box, whether it's going to go down. So I never really knew that. I saw that on the higher time frame. I was like, okay, I'm just going to assume that this is going to be a bearish because when you had these clean moves, it was so obvious. Until when the market started being choppy, you couldn't really tell, right? Until years passed and I started strategy hopping, I was like, let's try a breakout of trend lines and stuff. So then I started doing trend lines, and then you break, and then you go. Sometimes you'd win, sometimes you'd lose, and then you'll still get stopped out. And then it was basically this back and forth, and I'll get funded again, and I'll blow the account. Until a few years, like maybe I think around 2024, that's when I came back to projection, that's my bread and butter, that's my core system, right? It was me going deeper. It was about going deeper and not going. The key to becoming a great trader, being profitable, is you find something that works and you go so deep that your understanding of it's so you're basically above every other trader, right? Like they'll still talk about the basics, support and resistance. Your knowledge has to be so deep, and your risk management and everything that becomes so deep that like you can see this one here basically goes to the next box, and then it breaks up from the top, and then you think it's going to go up to the next box, but it sells. So you never really know which direction the market's going to go. But yeah, the key thing was the risk management and basically building rules and everything within this projection, right? So yeah, and the reason why this actually works, these moves, is because NASDAQ is 70% algorithm. The algorithms are being 70% of the volume is algorithms, right? It's not actual people, it's institutional algorithms that are moving the market, right? And so yeah, the full I actually break this down completely into a mechanical entry model, which means you know exactly when to enter. Like, I knew that the box wasn't enough, right? The box works, but I needed to know whether it was bullish or bearish box, and then whether the box was going to complete or not, right? So then I would look at the higher time frame, and then I created a whole another level, a layer below this, like the foundational layer, to know the direction of the market, and then we'd know which way the box was going to be projected. But yeah, that's exactly how. For the first few years, I got funded and I got paid out. I already knew where TP was most of the time. So I would just be entering like crazy, and when I got stopped out, I stopped out bad until I built my whole entire system, risk money management, the exact rules, exact entries, and to know exactly how much of the risk to reward per month that I'm getting for each of the months. So it's basically plug and play now. And all of that is in my community. So I'm not gonna go over every single detail of how I enter and all of those things. But yeah, projection has been foundational in my trading. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. I wish you guys all the best, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.